News special, Not Without Honor, recorded June 17th, 30978D, head number 58.
I, Colin Miller, of the City of Hamilton, do swear that I will well and truly serve our Sovereign Lady the Queen, her heirs and successors in the office of Police Constable for the City of Hamilton, without fear, favor, or affection, malice, or ill will, and that I will, to the best of my power, cause the peace to be kept and preserved, and will prevent all offenses against the persons and properties of Her Majesty's subjects, and that while I continue to hold the said office, I will, to the best of my skill and knowledge, discharge all the duties thereof faithfully and according to law. So help me God.
Special attention, 1 cruiser, 2nd Relief, 24 Thorndale South. Also the strike area, Myers Coal, Empire, Canada Coal Company, Canada Ice and Coal Company.
These men and men like them protect a growing, sprawling city from the anarchy and abuse of the misguided, those who trespass the rights of their fellows.
Old sedan, white and tall, 601 379.
They serve in the deserted night, in the glare of day, in the gray quiet of morning, each man with his beat, each man faced with a round of routine that might at any moment flare into unexpected danger. They move out from stations across the city, shift replacing shift, car replacing car. At no time is their guard relaxed or loosened, and the work of the day or of the night continues uninterrupted.
Control 18, proceed to George's Open Kitchen. George's Open Kitchen, 1841 Grovemore Avenue. 1841 Grovemore Avenue, rear disturbance, time 2:43.
They perform conventional tasks, prepared all the while for the unconventional. They serve the cause of order.
Oh, when constabulary duties to be done, a policeman's lot is not a happy one.
That song, composed by Gilbert and Sullivan, was written in an era when the concept of an organized police force was novel and considered almost experimental. Today, the police department is an accepted part of community life, and the men and women who staff our police force carry out their tasks with considerable courage, a wide range of skill, and not without honor.
Not without honor. The story of the Hamilton Police Department.
The modern police department has far outpaced what the general public conceives it to be. It's a sphere of endeavor that demands high technical skill. It's a vocation, constantly and continuously engaged in the task of refining its techniques. Microscopes, chemical analysis, careful correlation of facts all play a role in what was once held to be foot-slogging routine. Increasingly, the modern police department operates on principles derived from the best of business practices, and its vast, carefully cataloged records, the intricate communication system, renders the occupation of crime more and more hazardous. And the incidence of crime without punishment, the chance of escaping detection is reduced with each passing year. In fact, so precise are the day-to-day records that trends in crime can almost be predicted. A daily bulletin keeps the police officer completely informed, and each man's beat is adjusted to meet the new requirement. There's nothing static about the modern police department. For all the advances, technical and administrative, there's still the essential man on the beat. Inspector Gordon V. Torrance made this comment.
Police officer patrols his beat at all hours of the day, night. He's not confined to any fixed conditions. At night he must patrol the alleys. They're dark. He tries the doors, windows. Sometimes he may find them open. And at times he may feel anxiety or apprehension. After all, he's only a human being. On the other hand, a policeman's job isn't all that serious. I recall an incident when I was first being shown how to walk a beat. The other officer and myself found a door open, the back door of a warehouse. We went in to look around, and we got through the warehouse all right, and through a screen door into a hallway leading to an office. No sooner got in there, and a great big German Shepherd dog came up from the basement and stood full length at the screen door barking at us. Well, we were embarrassed. We couldn't get out till we called the owner down to open the front door for us. I'll never forget that huge dog.
Some dogs are memorable for other reasons. For instance, the dogs of the Canine Division, specially trained to track, to defend, to give chase. A lost child in a dense thicket can be located with amazing rapidity by giving the dog an item from which he can pick up the scent, and by ordering him to find. No distraction will force the animal to give up his search until it is completed. In tracking criminals, a totally different kind of work, they surge ahead, instinct and exhaustive training directing them to their quarry. And yet they will not attack except on specific command, unless their master is himself attacked. Even in the city, on lonely nighttime patrols, the dogs have earned a high reputation. The very sight of these magnificent animals have given felons second thoughts about committing a crime. But for the most part, all but 10% of a policeman's work could be called routine. He is engaged, as Police Chief Leonard G. Lawrence phrased it, in preventing infractions of the law. However, in the course of events, citizens may lose sight of the fact that the policeman does not make the laws of the land. He merely enforces the statutes and regulations which the majority of our citizens hold to be valuable.
Go to car 3.
We forget, too, that every single time an officer answers a call, he is, in the line of duty, jeopardizing his physical well-being. The casual atmosphere of the dispatching room covers the full realization that this could be a dangerous assignment.
And believed armed with a sawed-off shotgun. Repeat, only description of suspect, 30 years, 6 foot tall, and believed armed with a sawed-off shotgun. The last seen running east from 154 Johnson Drive. Last seen running east from 154 Johnson Drive. 10-4-3.
3-10-4.
Time 2:30.
When that call is received, perhaps in the dead of night, he must be well prepared.
Fire. 20 seconds.
And the individual policeman is well prepared. But a gun, he is taught, is a responsibility placed on his person by public trust, a trust that cannot be misused.
Fire round in 10 seconds. Take sure you don't fire before the whistle? Is the line ready? The line is ready. Fire!
Familiarized with a whole range of weapons, he appreciates that he must avoid all unnecessary force. They answer a threat to public safety with appropriate strength. But strength, even when held cautiously in reserve, is itself a preventative to crime. However, a concern for weaponry is far from emphasized in the modern police department. There are other skills more academic in nature which must be mastered.
Well, gentlemen, may I welcome you to the Ontario Police College, and particularly Classroom 4. You will realize that today's policeman must be a highly trained individual. The general public is better educated today than it ever was before, and they expect more from their policemen. You should appreciate, however, that academic training forms but a very small proportion of a good policeman's training. The rest must come from self-study and from experience. We hope to provide you with a very sound foundation upon which you can build. You will be undertaking quite an intensive study of the various laws. You must know the law if you are to effectively and fairly enforce them.
At the Ontario Police College near Aylmer, the men of the Hamilton Police Department, along with officers from throughout the province, receive intensive training. New recruits, experienced men, chiefs. They come here to increase their efficiency. The new men study English, law, police methods, traffic control, and a variety of subjects designed to acquaint them with the duties they will perform. Seasoned men take advanced courses in supervision, criminal investigation, and police administration. The man in blue is an expert in his field. The level of training produces men of professional caliber. And this is essential, for modern policing calls on intellectual as well as physical qualities. With each passing year, police work makes greater and greater demands upon the abilities and natural aptitudes of the men who choose this vocation. How to give evidence in court. How to render first aid. Knowledge of every kind. They attend classes in a wide variety of subjects. They study and they drill. Every conceivable situation in which a policeman might find himself is carefully examined, and a simulated accident teaches a man to observe and record every significant detail. They cannot be haphazard. And the knowledge that is acquired here will be applied directly and indirectly in real situations, situations that call on a considerable body of knowledge and the ability to apply complicated techniques of collecting evidence in a meaningful manner. Two detectives from the Hamilton Police Department's Criminal Investigation Bureau check on a break-in and entry.
Geez, Ron, they made an awful mess of that box. It certainly looks like they were here for a while. Now, can you tell us about this fellow that you saw in the hallway?
Well, I'd say he's about 6'2", slim. He had a white shirt on, a fair.
How much would he weigh?
Oh, approximately about 180 pounds, roughly.
Are there any outstanding features about him? Glasses, mustache, visible scars?
No, not that I noticed.
Now, can you show us how to get into the building?
Yes, if you come this way, I could.
I'll notify the identification office and they can check for fingerprints.
Right.
The description is fairly good. Fingerprints were found at the scene, and the whole machinery of detection begins to roll. In the world where nothing is ever forgotten, records of similar crimes are checked. The whereabouts of known offenders are investigated. Specially prepared cards, cataloged in regards to height, weight, coloring, and unusual physical characteristics, are examined by a mechanical tabulation unit preset to select individuals who fit the available description. From thousands of possible suspects, the field has been limited to a workable number. Fingerprints lead to one suspect. In this instance, a lineup is arranged, and the witness attempts to make a positive identification. And so the offender has been caught, charged, and will await trial. But other crimes must be solved, and the whole complex process continues. The barest threads of evidence are woven together by skillful men and women to resolve acts of violence, to bring those who disregard the law to justice. The work of law enforcement never ceases. The key word in law enforcement is restraint. Every precaution is taken to protect the rights of the individual. Principles inherent in our society from the distant past, from Magna Carta, are mirrored in the police department. But this is not altogether surprising, since society is firmly represented in the Board of Commissioners of Police. Senior Magistrate Walter Tuckty, QC, chairman of the commission, in concert with Judge Alan Ambrose, represents the law. His Worship, Mayor Victor Copps, as head of City Council, represents the public. The board is responsible as a body for the establishment, government, and legislative policy of the Department of Police. The one individual, however, most responsible for both the character and the efficiency of the force is Chief of Police Leonard G. Lawrence.
I have very definite ideas on how an efficient police department should operate. Basically, as a police administrator, I know that my duties are to coordinate, direct, and control the government of the police department. However, we must remember that a police department in this day and age is a very complex organization. We are dealing with people, and with the many varied beliefs and conflicts that occur with people. For this reason, it has been found necessary in the promotion of efficient law enforcement to develop many facets of the police service within our organization. This starts off with a search for qualified personnel to fill these respective positions within the police department so that they may deal with efficiency with the complex problem experienced by the citizens of our community.
One of the men who typifies the qualities the modern police officer must have is Deputy Chief Gerald N. Reed, tall, serious, a man who is creatively imaginative and yet sufficiently realistic to temper idealism with what is possible. And policing is a shared responsibility. Capable men take an active part in the administration of areas about which they have specialized and expert knowledge. Responsibility devolves from rank to rank, and on all levels there is an interchange of ideas. Perhaps in no other vocation is there such an obvious respect apparent among its members. So much depends upon individual skills. Every single member of the force must be capable. This holds true for the women as well as the men. Each individual, wherever he stands, wherever he speaks, represents the department as a whole. In the courts, he must be precise, impartial. He must be fully aware of what the court expects of him. In his presentation of factual material may lie the future of some person or persons. He bears heavy responsibility.
I'm James, and disobeyed a red traffic light at Canada. I stepped out into the roadway and attempted to flag or wave the car down, but the driver ignored me and continued south on James Street.
One moment, officer. Could you describe the weather conditions and the road conditions at this time and place?
Yes. The night was clear, the road was dry, and the streets well lighted.
Thank you, officer.
As the vehicle passed me, I took down the license number as 578346.
Responsibility and perhaps the endless jokes about flat feet and all the old stereotyped wisecracks tend to make policemen band together in their off-duty hours. That's when they let off some steam. The remarkable thing is, even in activity outside the regular realm of police work, the men tend to be outstanding. They enjoy a good time, too, and when they're called to order, when there is something to be done, they seem bent on doing it well. So the man on the beat, the motorcycle policeman, the officer who drives the cruiser, the chap from the CIB suddenly becomes a singer. And the police chorus isn't just an ordinary outfit. Their reputation is high in both Canada and the United States. Rehearsing on their own time, they have greatly enhanced the reputation of the Hamilton Police Department.
Those vowels, the vowels we've been working on, that's really good.
I believe for every drop of rain that falls, a flower grows. I believe that somewhere in the darkest night, a candle glows. I believe for everyone who goes astray, someone will come to show the way. I believe. I believe above the storm, the smallest prayer will still be heard. I believe that someone in the grave somewhere hears every word. Every time I hear a newborn baby cry,
they believe. And while outsiders might expect officers to be cynical, faced as they are with the darker aspects of society, they throw themselves with utter commitment into programs that are constructive. Every single year, summer as well as winter, police minor sports encourage hundreds of young people to take part in healthy outdoor activity. The policeman on his own time becomes a coach, and many a lad is pleased to call the officer his friend. They strive to educate the public, young and old, to the many responsibilities that lie in their path. In the automotive age, each one of these children, when adults, will probably drive a car. For now, they receive a graphic view of the relationship between the pedestrian and the motorist. They appreciate the importance of proper signals and the meaning of safety. At each age level, the police department seeks to come into face-to-face contact with the public they serve. Young men and women, before acquiring their first driver's license, are encouraged to attend classes designed to make them aware of the responsibilities and mature outlook their community expects of them when they operate a vehicle. Even radar has its positive aspects. Speed isn't the concern, it's the results of speed, perhaps the death of a child. The beam records on a meter the speed of an oncoming vehicle. When a car exceeds the posted limits, a warning buzzer sounds, and the officer hails the motorist. The radar unit was located at this site on the specific request of citizens who complained of excessive speeding. The very presence of the unit over a period of days may save some individual's life. The ticket and its effect keeps a traffic artery from turning into a raceway. Literature, preventative literature, is prepared regularly, and an informed public assists its police department to reduce the invitation to crime, which carelessness can cause. Police work is a profession. It calls for a level of dedication and application surpassed by few other callings. It demands of its men and women continuing education and development. Seminars, briefings, study sessions, they're all part of the job. And you never, no matter how hard you try, know it all. But like every other job worth doing, it has its rewards. Things have changed and are changing, but the backbone of a force is its men. There's a pride in belonging to something excellent, a pride in having full knowledge of an organization and finding it completely worthy, completely honorable. It is the mood of our society to be critical. In an age of disillusion, we demand perfection. We hope for the best while expecting the worst. It is well to examine those areas of life which play so important a role in day-to-day affairs. But we must never be reluctant to salute that which is good, that which is valuable. Those who deserve our respect should receive it. And surely it is wisdom to respect those who act with patience, skill, courage, and not without honor.